Hi everyone, and welcome to another video. Today we are going to talk about how to write a strong research proposal for PhD application. In the top leading university, they sometimes ask you to write a research proposal. So the very first section of a research proposal is introduction. In the introduction section, you should provide a brief overview of your research topic and why it is important. You should also explain why you are interested in this topic and why you are qualified for it. For example, you could start by introducing your topic in general way. Then you could narrow it down to your research focus and explain why your specified research question is important. You could also discuss the relevance of your research to the current events and the scientific or social problems. To explain why you are interested in this topic, you could share a personal story or experience that sparked your interest. You could also discuss your academic background and how it has prepared for you for the research project. Finally, you should explain why you are qualified to study this topic. You could highlight your research skills, your research experience, and relevant methods and your knowledge in the field. Next section is the literature review. In the literature review section, you should summarize the existing research on your topic. You should identify the gaps in the literature and explain how your research will address these gaps. You can start by identifying the key concepts and theories in the field. Then you can discuss the findings of previous research studies. Be sure to cite the source properly. Citation is really important. Once you have summarized the existing research, you should identify the gaps in the literature. These gaps could be theoretical, methodological, scientific, or empirical sometimes. Explain how your research will address these gaps. The next section is very important and it is called research question. In the research question section, you should clearly state that your research question should be specific, feasible, and original. You shouldn't copy it from somewhere or shouldn't copy it from someone's idea. A specific research question is one that can be answered definitively. It is also important to make sure that your research question is feasible, meaning that you can answer it within the time and resources that you will have available. Finally, your research question should be original, meaning that it addressed a gap in the literature. The next section is the methodology. In this section, you should describe how you plan to conduct your research. It should explain the data collection method and data analysis method and ethical consideration as well. When describing your data collection method, be sure to explain why you chose these methods and how they are appropriate for your research question. You should also discuss any potential limitation of your data collection method. Before that, you should have a good communication with your potential research supervisor. When describing your data analysis method, be sure to explain how you will analyze your data to answer your research question. You should also discuss any potential limitation of your data analysis method. Finally, you should discuss the ethical consideration of your research. This may include issues such as informed consent, data confidentiality, and potential risk to the participant. The next section is the expected outcomes. In this section, you should outline the potential outcome of your research. It should explain how your research will contribute to the field and what implication it will have for the theory or practice. When discussing the expected contribution of your research, be sure to explain how your research will address the gaps in the literature that you identified in the literature review section. You should also discuss the implication of your research for the theory and the practice. For example, your research may have implication for developing new interventions or policies or maybe new theories It may also have implication for understanding a particular phenomena, like in scientific or social problems. In most PhD applications, you should not need to give the funding requirement. This is because funding decisions are typically made after students have been admitted to the program. Concluding, by following these tips, you can write a research proposal that will help you to stand out from other applicants and increase your chances of being accepted into the program. So if you're up, start writing, and good luck.